Folks around here sometimes call me an expert, but after more than 20 years with these birds, I can tell you the ducks are the real experts. My job has always been to listen to what they're telling me through their chatter, their posture, and the numbers on the scale. They'll let you know when things are right, and they'll surely let you know when they're not. I chose ducks over chickens a long time ago. There's a hardiness to them, an intelligence you come to respect. They are remarkably resistant to many common avian diseases and can thrive in conditions that would stress other poultry. And when it comes to the modern meat duck, the breeds from Cherry Valley, the SM3, the CV2000, whichever name you know them by, are the pinnacle of what's possible. They are robust, they grow at a frankly astonishing rate, and their ability to turn feed into meat is something you have to see to believe. They are the result of decades of patient, careful breeding, and raising them is a craft. Success in this business isn't about one big secret. It's about getting 100 little things right every single day. It's a process, a rhythm you get into from the moment the house is empty until the day the next flock ships out. This book is my way of walking you through that process, sharing the lessons I've learned from a lifetime of listening to the ducks. This is my way of showing you what those little things are. The most important and profitable work on my farm happens before a single duckling sets foot in the barn. A flock's potential is set in stone during that quiet week when the house is empty. This is when you build your fortress against disease, and a clean start is the only way to guarantee a strong finish. I run what the industry calls an all-in, all-out operation on a single age site. It's a simple rule, one age of duck on the farm at one time. When you mix ages, you're inviting the diseases from the older, more resilient birds to wreak havoc on the newcomers. I keep my farm isolated a good 3 kilometers from any other poultry operation. That distance isn't arbitrary. It's a buffer against diseases that can travel on the wind. My visitor policy is just as strict. Only essential folks get past my gate, and nobody, I mean nobody, who's been near other poultry in the last 24 hours gets in. They wear my boots and my coveralls, or they don't come in at all. I have foot dips at every doorway, and they're kept fresh. These aren't suggestions. They're the laws of my farm. We also wage a constant quiet war against pests. Rodents and wild birds are freeloaders that carry disease, so an effective and ongoing vermin control program is non-negotiable. My duck houses are built on a simple principle: they must be cleanable. That's why I swear by solid concrete floors. Dirt is for gardens. In a duck house, it's a permanent filthy sponge for bacteria and moisture. Concrete is my secret weapon. You can't properly disinfect what you can't scrub down to the bone. The house itself is a simple, sturdy structure designed to keep predators out and a comfortable environment in. It's well ventilated to handle the moisture ducks produce and is equipped with timers and dimmers for the lights. As you'll see, having complete control over day length and light intensity is a powerful tool in a stockman's kit. The moment the last truck of market-ready ducks pulls away, the clock starts on my 7-day clean-out ritual. This is the most effective investment I make in the health of the next flock. Day 1. The dry clean. Before any water touches the floor, all the old litter manure and feed remnants are removed. The first step is always the driest. You get all that organic matter out of the building so your detergents and disinfectants can do their job. Days 2 to 3, the wash down. We come in with pressure washers, starting from the ceiling and working our way down. We use a good detergent because soap and water come first. Disinfectant is useless on a dirty surface. You have to break down the biofilms and wash away the grime to get to the germs underneath. Day 4. Disinfection. Once the barn is visibly clean, we apply a broad-spectrum disinfectant approved for poultry facilities. Every surface gets covered: floors, walls, curtains, and all the equipment that was cleaned outside: feeders, water lines, everything. Day 5. The systems flush. This is a step rookies often forget, and it can cost them dearly. After the disinfectant has had time to work, we flush the entire water system, pipes, regulators, and drinker lines with fresh, clean water until all traces of chemicals are gone. You don't want your new arrival's first drink to be a chemical cocktail that could poison them. Days 6-7. Dry down and prep. The house must be bone dry before the new litter goes down. A damp environment is a breeding ground for mold and bacteria, especially aspergillus, a fungus that ducks are particularly susceptible to and which can cause devastating respiratory disease. Once it's dry, we spread a clean, even layer of fresh, mold-free wood shavings about 3 centimeters deep to provide a comfortable bed for the new arrivals. This meticulous process isn't about making the place look nice, it's about systematically reducing the pathogen load to near zero. When those fragile day-old ducklings with their brand new immune systems arrive, they enter a safe harbor, not a battlefield. This lack of an early disease challenge means they don't waste precious energy fighting off infections. Instead, every bit of feed they eat goes directly into growth. That strong, healthy start in the first week is what sets the stage for hitting your target weights and ultimately for a profitable flock. The first 3 weeks of a duckling's life are the most delicate and the most impactful. Everything you do in this period, the brooding phase, will echo through to market day. Get this right, and the birds will almost raise themselves. Get it wrong, and you'll be fighting an uphill battle for the next 6 weeks. When the day-old ducklings arrive, they've often had a long journey. They're tired, a little stressed, and almost always dehydrated. My first priority is never feed. It's always water. Forget the feed for the first hour. The first thing their beak should touch is clean, fresh water. I gently tip them from their transport boxes into the prepared brooding area where supplementary waterers and feed trays are waiting, impossible to miss. That first drink rehydrates them and gets their system ready for their first meal. I don't heat the whole barn for 1,000 tiny ducklings. That's a waste of money, and more importantly, it doesn't give the birds a choice. I use a technique called spot brooding, creating warm islands in the sea of the barn floor. To do this, I build elliptical brooder surrounds. I use sections of flexible solid board about 1/2 meter high to form a ring roughly 4 meters by 7 meters. This is the nursery for the first 1,000 ducklings. The solid wall protects them from drafts, and the curved shape prevents them from piling up in corners, which is a common cause of death in young birds. Inside each ring, I hang 2 gas brooders. The secret isn't just heat, it's a temperature gradient. The temperature directly under the brooder should be a balmy 35 degrees, maybe 95 degrees. But the ducklings must have enough space to move away into cooler zones if they get too warm. The ducklings themselves are the best thermometers you'll ever own. If they're huddled tightly under the heat, they're cold. If they're all pushed up against the outer walls of the ring, they're too hot. But if they're spread out evenly, chirping contentedly with some eating, some drinking, and some sleeping, you've got it just right. This cozy nursery doesn't last long. Starting on day 3, I make the ring a little bigger each day. By day 7, the training wheels come off, and I remove the surround, completely giving them access to the whole pen area. This gradual expansion lets them acclimate to the larger space without shock. The brooder surround is more than a physical barrier. It's a behavioral training tool. It focuses the ducklings' attention on the essentials heat, feed, and water during their most vulnerable period, programming them for success and driving the uniformity of the entire flock. For the first week of life, the lights in my barn are on 24 hours a day. I make sure it's bright too, up to 40 lux right over the feed and water. They're babies. They need all the help they can get to find the grocery store and the water fountain. The temperature schedule is non-negotiable, but it's also not just about reading a thermometer. It's a guide, and the bird's behavior is the final word. I start at 35 degrees C under the brooder on day 1 and gradually reduce it week by week. By the end of week 4, the temperature is down to about 24 degrees, 75 degrees, and they're well on their way to being fully feathered and self-sufficient. To ensure even the smallest, shyest duckling gets a good start, I use extra feed trays and waterers scattered throughout the brooder ring for the first 3 to 4 days. This makes it impossible for a bird to wander more than a few steps without finding what it needs. The feed itself is a high-performance fuel. The starter diet is packed with protein 22%, and metabolizable energy $29.50 as text, kcal sarcade, to support the explosive growth of this early phase. Every component is designed to build a strong frame and healthy organs, setting the foundation for the rapid muscle development to come. As the old saying on my farm goes, every additional gram of body weight the birds gain at 7 days will increase their slaughter weight by 8 to 10 grams. That's not just a saying, it's the economic reality of a good start. To give you a quick reference for this critical period in the first week from day 1 to 7, the temperature under the brooder starts at 35 degrees Celsius and is gradually lowered to 31 degrees. The lights are on 24 hours a day at a bright 40 lux, and the ducklings are kept in the nursery ring with about 90 to 100 square centimeters of space per bird. In the second week days, 8 to 14, the temperature continues to drop from 31 to 28 degrees Celsius, and the lights are reduced to 23 hours a day. By this time, the brooder surround has been removed, and they have about 0.1 square meters of space each. For week 3 days, 15 to 21, the temperature goes from 28 down to 25 degrees, and the light is further reduced to 16 to 18 hours a day, with the space remaining at 0.1 square meters per bird. Finally, in week 4, we transition them to the grower space with the temperature dropping from 25 to 22 degrees Celsius and the light schedule holding steady at 16 to 18 hours. After, the delicate dance of brooding, the growing phase begins. This is where the ducks hit their stride, and their growth is nothing short of explosive. My job shifts from intensive care to managing a rapidly expanding population, fighting a constant war against water, and ensuring the birds have all the fuel they need to meet their incredible genetic potential. Around day 18, the distinction between the brooding area and the rest of the house dissolves. The birds now have the full run of the place, and they need it. They need room to stretch their legs, flap their wings, and behave like ducks. I make sure they have at least 3 square feet, $279/text/amount $2 of floor space per bird. A crowded duck is a stressed duck, and a stressed duck doesn't grow efficiently. Their need for supplemental heat also fades. Once they start getting their proper feathers around day 28, they are remarkably self-sufficient. Their thermal comfort zone is wide, ranging from about 8 degrees Celsius to 23 degrees Celsius, 46 degrees to 73 degrees F. So, as long as the barn is protected from extreme weather, they are perfectly comfortable. Now we come to the central challenge of raising ducks indoors water. Remember, they're waterfowl. They love water, and they'll put it everywhere you don't want it. From this point on, my biggest job is keeping the litter dry. My solution, perfected over many years, is the drinker island. It's a simple but brilliant concept. My drinkers don't sit on the litter. They sit on an elevated platform made of good quality plastic slats with gentle ramps for easy access. Any water the ducks splash, and they will splash, drains away through the slats into a channel below, instead of turning my litter into a swamp. To complete the system, a low solid wall borders the entire island, which stops them from flicking and splashing water out onto the main litter area. Even with this system, daily vigilance is key. Every day, I walk the house shovel in hand, topping up with fresh dry shavings where needed. Damp litter is the enemy. It's an incubator for harmful bacteria, and fungi releases ammonia that burns their lungs and causes painful sores on their feet and breasts. A duck in pain or with respiratory distress will not eat or drink optimally, and performance will suffer. In duck farming, water management is health management. As the ducks enter this rapid growth phase around week 3, their nutritional needs change. We're no longer just building a strong frame, we're now focused on putting on high-quality meat. The feed itself is a high-performance fuel, and the formulation changes as the ducks grow. The starter diet used for the first 3 weeks is packed with 22% crude protein and 2950 kcal/kg of metabolizable energy. It also contains 0.85% calcium, 0.40% available phosphorus, 0.48% methionine, and 1.15% lysine to build a strong frame. Around week 4, we switch to the grower and finisher diet. Here, the focus shifts to putting on high-quality meat, so the crude protein comes down to 18%, while the metabolizable energy goes up to 3100 kcal/kg. The mineral and amino acid profile is also adjusted with calcium at 0.75% available phosphorus, at 0.38% methionine, at 0.38%, and lysine at 0.90%. Just as important as what they eat is how they eat. I ensure there is more than enough feeder space for all birds to eat at the same time. Competition at the feeder is a primary cause of poor flock uniformity. The feed must also be distributed quickly and evenly throughout the house, so that the birds at the far end of the barn get the same opportunity as those right next to the hopper. Every week without fail, I sample weigh a portion of the flock. The scales don't lie. They are my report card. They tell me if my feeding is right, if the birds are comfortable, and if we're on track for market day. The growth chart isn't just data, it's the story of the flock. The scales tell the story of the flock's progress. A duckling starts at about 52 grams on day 1. By day 7, it should reach a target weight of 255 grams, a gain of over 200 grams on about 60 grams of feed per day. The growth then accelerates. By day 14, the target is 660 grams, a weekly gain of 405 grams, with daily feed intake jumping to 130 grams. This is when they literally double their body weight in 7 days. By day 21. They should weigh 1,330 grams, a massive 670-gram gain for the week, eating around 210 grams daily. The pace continues with a target of 1,930 grams by day 28, 2,750 grams by day 35, and finally, a market-ready bird of around 3,430 grams by day 42. By this point, A single duck will have consumed an estimated total of 8.5 kilograms of feed over its life. That's a 65-fold increase from the 52-gram fluff ball that arrived just 6 weeks earlier. It's a testament to the incredible genetics of these birds and the power of getting all the little things right. You can have the best barns and the most scientific feed formulas in the world, but it's the stockman's eye, that daily intuitive connection with the flock, that separates the good farmers from the great ones. It's the art that complements the science, and it's learned over years of walking the houses and paying attention. I walk through each house at the same time every day, usually just after the morning feeding. Ducks are creatures of habit. They appreciate routine, and it gives me a consistent baseline to judge their behavior. I'm not just counting them. I'm listening to the sounds they make and watching how they move. A healthy, comfortable flock has a certain low, contented hum to it. They'll be evenly distributed throughout the house, with some at the feeders, some at the drinkers, and others resting quietly. I'm looking for anything out of the ordinary, a bird that's lethargic or isolated, any sign of a limp or lameness, or any bird with a wet, dirty appearance which could signal a problem. These are the early warnings that something might be amiss. There will be times you need to handle your birds for weighing, for inspection, or for moving them. How you do it matters. A stressed bird is an unproductive bird, and rough handling can cause bruising and injury that will show up as downgrades at the processing plant. The cardinal rule is this: never ever grab a duck by its legs or a single wing. Their legs are fragile and easily damaged. For a young bird, the best way is a gentle but firm grip around its whole body, holding its wings against its sides. For a larger adult bird, the proper technique is to lift it by the base of the neck. But, and this is the crucial part, you must immediately use your other hand to support the full weight of its body. You are carrying the body, not hanging the bird by its neck. This method keeps the bird secure and calm. I talk a lot about uniformity, and for good reason. A uniform flock is a profitable flock. The processing plants I sell to have their equipment automated and calibrated for a specific size. A flock with a wide range of sizes, some big, some small, causes problems for that equipment, leading to processing errors, downgraded carcasses, and ultimately less money in my pocket. But a uniform flock doesn't just happen. It's the direct result of excellent stockmanship from day one. An uneven flock is a sign that something in my management has failed. To achieve it, I focus on the fundamentals we've already discussed. A clean start. A pristine, disinfected environment ensures no bird gets set back by early disease. A good start. Making sure every single duckling finds feed and water immediately in the brooder ring. Equal opportunity, providing more than enough feeder and drinker space so no bird is bullied away, and ensuring feed is distributed quickly and evenly. A healthy environment. Using high-quality dry litter to prevent foot problems that would stop a bird from walking to the feeder. Daily culling. Humanely removing any weak, sick, or injured individuals as soon as they are spotted. They will not recover, and they pose a disease risk to the rest of the flock. My health program is all about prevention, and it starts right from the beginning. On day 2, the ducklings receive an oral Cerco vaccine. The very next day, at 3 days old, they get an antibody injection at a dose of 0.5 cubic centimeters per bird, which provides protection against hepatitis reovirus and short beak syndrome. On day 6, they receive their first injection for influenza, a 0.5 cubic centimeter dose of the H5 and H7 vaccine. At 10 days old, it's time for a comprehensive 5-in-1 vaccine injected at 0.3 cubic centimeters per bird, which covers influenza H9 adenovirus types 1 through 4, Tembusu Circo, and cholera. The final vaccination in this early schedule comes at 15 days old with a 0.5 cubic centimeter injection that protects against Tembusu, cholera, hepatitis, and reovirus. The last 24 hours on the farm are just as important as the first. All the value you've spent 6 weeks building can be diminished in just a few stressful hours before shipping. A calm, well-managed finish isn't just about animal welfare. It's about preserving the quality of the final product. The timing of the last meal is critical. I withdraw all feed from the flock about 8 to 12 hours before the scheduled catch time. This is long enough to allow their digestive tracts to empty, which is crucial for preventing contamination during processing at the plant. A clean gut means a cleaner carcass. But one thing I never withdraw is water. The ducks have full access to clean drinking water right up until the moment the catching crew enters the barn. A dehydrated bird is a stressed bird, and stress is the enemy of meat quality. The catch is always done with care and planning. We reduce the house lights to a very dim level, often using blue lights which have a calming effect on the birds. A quiet, dark environment minimizes panic and makes the entire process smoother for both the ducks and the crew. The crew moves slowly and deliberately. We use catching frames to gently corral a small group of birds at a time, preventing a mass panic. Every bird is handled using the proper technique I described earlier, a firm but gentle lift that supports the body. This is where carelessness leads to broken wings and bruised breasts, all of which are costly defects. The birds are then placed gently into the transport crates, never dropped. We are careful not to overcrowd the crates. Each bird needs enough space to rest comfortably during the journey. Overcrowding is a major cause of injury and heat stress, which can be fatal on a warm day. Everything you do in these final hours has a direct impact on the meat. When a duck is stressed from being chased, roughly handled, or overcrowded, its body floods with stress hormones. This triggers a cascade of chemical reactions in the muscle tissue. In simple terms, severe stress before slaughter can deplete the energy reserves glycogen in the muscle. After death, this results in meat that has a high pH, making it dark, firm, and dry DFD, which has poor keeping quality. Acute stress right at the moment of slaughter can cause the opposite problem, a rapid drop in pH, while the carcass is still warm, which denatures the proteins. This leads to pale, soft, and exudative PSE meat that is watery and loses moisture during cooking. All your hard work can be undone in the last hour if you're not careful. A calm bird also allows for a more efficient bleed out at the processing plant, which is essential for the quality, appearance, and shelf life of the final product. My role as a farmer doesn't end when the duck reaches market weight. It ends when a calm, healthy bird is safely on the truck, its quality preserved for the consumer. At the end of the day, this is a business, and in this business, you're paid by the kilogram. All the hard work, the daily chores, the careful planning, it all comes down to two numbers: the final weight of the bird, and how much feed it took to get there. For my Cherry Valley SM3 medium flock, my target is clear a 3.2 kg live weight at 41 days, achieved with a feed conversion ratio FCR of 1.98. I explain that FCR number to every new hand I hire. It means for every 1.98 kilograms of feed I put into a bird, I expect to get 1 kilogram of live weight back. That single number tells me more about the health of my flock and my business than anything else. It's the number that pays the bills. But after 50 years, it's more than just numbers. There's a deep satisfaction in this life. It's the challenge of it, the daily rhythm of caring for living creatures, and the quiet pride in knowing you're producing good, wholesome food for people's tables. It's a life's work. If I have one piece of advice for the next generation of farmers, it's this. Listen to the birds, trust your eyes, and never, ever skimp on cleaning the house. Get those 100 little things right day in and day out, and the big things like a healthy flock and a healthy balance sheet will take care of themselves.